Are you ready to stop the self-sabotage and create the life you desire? Well, in order for that to happen, you need to break free from the bad beliefs that are holding your success hostage. You need to optimize the stress by turning it into extra energy for success. And those hurtful habits? Well, we need to give that pain a purpose for progress. Welcome to Stop the Self Sabotage and Create the Life You Desire podcast. You know what's hard? Trying to live your life when you continue to self sabotage. You will self sabotage to soothe yourself. You will sabotage to distract yourself from a boundary that needs to be drawn. You will sabotage yourself because you've been taught to give yourself away. And you will sabotage because you were taught to connect to others through painful problems instead of the progress of bringing you out at your very best. And we all know, don't we, how hard this is. It hurts. You want to know what's even harder? Doing life in the beginning without the numbing effects of those hurtful habits. Yeah. Uh, you thought that giving up the self-sabotage was actually going to have you feeling better. It's like the clouds parted and the light came down and the angels sang, "Oh!" It's and there can be a relief and a freedom, but you're now dealing with the consequences that you have trained people how to treat you, and they ain't going to be too happy with it. That they liked the you that continued to do for them. You gave too much, and so they got to do too little. And you taught them how not to pay attention to you until you explode, but then you explode and you relieve the pressure. And then you go back to the way things were. See, there's always a price to be paid for success. But you're so busy paying the price for everybody else around you, you haven't had anything left to invest in yourself. And that self has been taught to have disasters and crisis and chaos because you were trained and conditioned to direct the lives of others. But at the same time, you were denied living your very own. And when you move into that, why, there's a sense of freedom. There's also like, oh, wow, I'm now responsible. I now have to draw boundaries. And boundaries always have consequences. I was working with one of my clients just a couple of days ago, and that was her big aha during our coaching portion, was that the law of polarity says everything is created as a whole, and you don't have a boundary unless there is a consequence for violating that boundary. And if you think of boundaries, they're simply containers for energy. So a cup is a boundary for the liquid that you pour into it. Now, if that cup has a hole, then there is a consequence that the liquid is going to drain out all over the place and create a mess. And so there is a consequence to be paid. You have not separated yourself from others. You were taught to merge and take on what they needed in life and make it happen for them. And so now you're paying their consequences. So this is going to be hard in the beginning, but it's the type of hard that brings you fulfillment and satisfaction. This is the reason why when I work with somebody privately, I always follow it up with another coaching call, because I know that there's additional things that you're going to need assistance with. Now, some people are phenomenal. All they need to do is work with me one time. Other people are like, okay, what do I need to do if I want to stay in your world for a while? And that's when I give them the option of working with me if they want every single week, either in a coaching session or a hypnosis session. Because I know it takes those 91 days for your identity upgrade. Okay, so as we conclude, you're given too much because they do too little. No one's paying attention to you till you explode, and then you relieve the pressure and you go back to the way things were. And you crave creating disasters, crisis, chaos, and confusion because you were taught to direct the lives of others, but to deny living your own life. And the only way you can do that is when they've got problems. If I can assist you with this, 1-636-699-7791. Whether it's me or somebody else you work with, you're going to need to work with someone because somebody created this problem in your programming. Somebody needs to help you turn that programming into progress for the type of life you want to live. If you could have done it on your own, you already would have. 1-636-699-7791.